So I'd like to introduce you all to my new son. His name is Logos. I would just like to show you today just how mind-bogglingly strong he is, along with his partner, the Super Roach. I am a bit flabbergasted, so please bear with me, but we're gonna start off with some footage to give you a bit of a preview of what's going on here, just to show you how powerful my son is. This is Patriot. I think you all know who Patriot is. Very important boss, very strong boss back in the day. Commonly used as a punching bag nowadays. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's just gone. Let's fast forward a little bit. This is Miss Mandragora. We hate her over here, but nice beam. Too bad 90 res. 90 res, by the way. She's also dead. Better beam wins. We'll explain why in a moment, but yeah, she's gone. 60% damage reduction, by the way. And then, wrapping up, nice Tallulah fireballs. 90 res. This is just his skill 2, by the way. His skill 2. He doesn't even need to do this. He could just ignore him with skill 3, which we'll also see, but I mean, what an absolute mad lad. Please support the original creator of the video. I'll link in the description. Now, how is he able to do this? How is he able to turn these bosses into paste? I will tell you why. I will tell you how. Sorry. Okay. So it comes down to two things. The first is his talents. His first talent isn't really super notable. It's good, but we're not going to pay much attention to it. It's just an additional chance to hit an additional enemy and then a slow, which is good. We're going to talk about the second talent. Minus 10 res to the target and increases arts damage taken by 150, a flat 150, up to 165 with pot 2. So you only need to pull 3 copies of him to get his pot for this. How insane is this? Let's do some math real quick. Let's say that we have Surtur on the field, and Surtur's just dealing some damage as usual, Surtur doing Surtur things. So let's say that she's going to attack her target 25 times, let's say, around abouts. Or maybe we could say down to 20. 20 times 165 is 3,300. Divide that in half, assuming 50 res, or assuming 50 res when reduced by both Logos and Surtur, and you have 1,650 additional damage. Keep in mind, this is a game where boss health is usually in the range of 60,000, 50,000, 60,000. So that's a lot of damage, even when mitigated that much. And again, that's assuming a hypothetical target with like an upwards of 80 res. Are you starting to see how this is insane? Don't worry, it gets better. All 3 of his skills are good. He is an easy M9. Why? His skill 1 is literally the low tier god meme. Executes enemies underneath a certain threshold. Completely makes short work of hordes of slugs, hordes of anything, really. Absolutely insane damage. Unlimited duration, AFK skill. Wipes the floor with so much. Pairs very well with Ascalon, by the way. Him and Ascalon work very well together with this skill. Skill 2, which you saw in the video I showed you. Res plus 70, combined with an innate 20 res, goes up to 90. And then Tractor Beam that slows the enemy down and reduces their movement speed, all while gradually increasing the damage dealt by him onto them up to 3 times. And it's only 30 SP. Skill 3. Attack range expands. Attack plus a whopping 300%. Surtur vibes. Attacks 3 targets simultaneously. Surtur vibes. Greatly reduces the flight speed of enemy projectiles within range and removes them when the skill ends. We're going to watch this in action. But before I can show you just how crazy this skill 3 is, and this is his range, by the way, we need to talk about Wiš'adel, the Super Roach. So with Miss Walter's kit is actually kind of simple when you think about it. Her talents are a bit nuanced, but her kit is actually quite simple. Why do I say that? Well, if we look real quick, we can see that she does two things. First thing is, when she attacks someone, she attaches a lingering shadow to the target. It's like a orbiting like fingerprint type of thing. And then when that enemy then gets hit with an aftershock, there's a 15% chance for it to explode, dealing 150% as physical, and then stunning them for 1 second. This improves if pot 5. And then 1.1 tile explosion radius permanence or stays on them permanently, so on and so forth. And then the other thing that happens is she also spawns these things called Shadows of Revenants, and we'll see what they look like in a second. And when they're within 4 tiles of her, or surrounding 8 tiles, sorry, they will give her camouflage. And you will be thinking to yourself, well, if they're doing this and they do their own damage, then they're probably not going to be that tanky, right? They're not that tanky, right? Well, here's Mandragora again. Mandrabeam. Your eyes are not deceiving you. That thing is tanking the Mandrabeam. And Walter is literally shredding her through 60% damage reduction. $70 to 80% of her HP is gone. Probably more than that. And she only just killed the first one of the Revenants. Let's move forward a little bit. Phase 1 is dead. Here's the crazy thing about this skill, before I say anything else. So, we know what the talents do. The skill 3, you can read it up. It's basically a bunch of damage with 6 shots and a massive attack interval increase. That doesn't really matter, but what's crazy about this skill is that it can summon up to 3 Revenants, and then it automatically summons 2. Now what that means is, in this hypothetical we saw from Storm's video, even if the, in theory, even if the Revenant dies here, for instance, if Wiš'adel has another usable tile in the immediate radius around her, she'll just summon another one. She'll just summon another one. It literally doesn't matter. In fact, I think she can summon them anywhere within her attack range. It's just that within the immediate 8 is when it only gives her camouflage, but these things can tank Patriot Spears. That's nuts. And it comes together in Pard's video here, where I'll just tell you straight up, H84 has been 3-opt in Sarkaz only already. This is only May 2nd. This is a day after the operators dropped. It has already been 3-opt with Logos, Nightingale, and Wiš'adel. Mumu is just here in Pard's video probably because it makes the clear easier, but we're going to watch Tallulah die. So bear in mind, this is H84 Tallulah, Deathless Black Snake, 60,000 HP, 800 defense, 50 res. Her health is just gone. Wiš'adel is doing upwards of 9,000 damage per shot. And remember how I said Logos skill 3 can stop projectiles? You will never reach the truth. Never. And he'll cancel them. 3, 2, 1. Now let's watch phase 2 die. Same thing. I'm speechless. I'm honestly just speechless. Nullified. When people tell you that these two are strong and that you have to pull for them, they are not exaggerating. Wiš'adel is the more, I would argue, the more optional of the two, because while her skill 3 damage is absolutely insane, you have a lot of insane damage options in the game already, and her other 2 skills aren't nearly as good. Her skill 2 in particular is pretty bad because the damage just isn't there, but what do I even say? Did I even tell you about his module? Have I told you about his module? The 60% attack as elemental damage with Fallout, when the target is under Fallout of elemental damage, and the fact that he deals 8% of his attack as necrosis damage just like Ebon Holes. Have I mentioned that? Here's the bottom line. I started playing this niche back in late 2021, and back then we didn't have Purifier, we didn't have Typhon. I don't even know if we had Purgatory back then. It was a struggle because we just didn't have the operators or the coverage or the options. Nowadays, we're going to get Logos with 19 DP cost at max pods, and he can do all of this. And then Wiš'adel is just the cherry on top. It doesn't even matter if we can't use Teresa. It doesn't matter. Because with how insane Logos is, with how beautiful and destructive Wiš'adel is, her skill 3 can hit air, by the way, which is absolutely nuts. Flinger, by the way. With all this in mind, it's just hard to comprehend how far the niche has come, and I've basically gotten everything I could want. So, Hypergriff wins. They have my wallet. They've given me Ascalon, they've given me Logos, and they've given me an insane Roach. What else do I say? Like, he even has the drip. She has the drip too. I don't know what people are saying when they knock on her outfit. This outfit is peak. The silhouette is so good. But just remember, when you play this niche, the first thing you should always prioritize is to have fun. And I think that there is going to be so much fun to be had with toying around with all of these operators, not just the 2 you see here, but I mean all of our operators now. All 24 of them. And just seeing where you can go. Because we've come so far, and it's absolutely worth it. So that's just my summary in general. I just wanted to show some videos and talk a little bit about why these 2 are so hyped, and trying to think if there's anything else I should say. 2 things. The Nagzurher King, right here, is an absolute Chad in the story. I won't say why, but he's an absolute Chad. And the other thing is that this robot is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I can't tell you why, and we can't technically use the robot, but funniest thing I've ever seen. So, look forward to the 5th anniversary because it's peak. And I'm so happy.